Hello YouTube, good afternoon. But no, it's not Saturday, today it's Sunday. And I'm back at the same place where I came from, where I left off yesterday. It's still my dad's car. And yesterday evening at about 8:30 we gave up. We gave up because it was too dark. Time to go to wife and children. And to rethink how to mount a gearbox, because yesterday evening we did not succeed. I think it took us yesterday evening more than 3 hours of trying to persuade it to mount itself to the engine. So this morning I returned, and with help of a better technician than I am, at least more experienced technician than I am, it took us another hour and a half, but now it is on. It is on. It's Sunday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and now I am where I was supposed to be yesterday evening at 5 o'clock. So, finally I may take the homebound stretch, reassemble everything. But at least the gearbox is now back. Okay. A very short explanation. You may ask yourself, of course, why on earth is it so hard, difficult to get something as standard as a gearbox mounted to as standard as a car engine? To be honest, I don't know either. But I can explain a little bit, and that's what I'm trying to do now. Every engine has a crankshaft, and that is a shaft that lies down in the bottom of the engine. And that crankshaft has a clutch, and next comes the shaft of the incoming shaft from the gearbox. And that is how the force of the engine gets transplanted into the gearbox and into the transmission and to the wheels eventually. To get a gearbox mounted to an engine, these two shafts have to be exactly aligned. And with exactly I mean exactly. 100% perfect. Not 99. Else they won't fit. And it's a splined shaft that has to be put into another splined holder. So just a little bit out of center, and the gearbox just won't move into its position. And a gearbox is quite heavy, especially in a front-wheel drive car with its differential mounted as well and all kinds of other stuff on it. So a bit hard to handle. And well, two quite experienced car techies, or mechanics if you like, needed in all more than 4 hours together of trying to get this fixed. But there was something else. I'll show you. This is the gearbox that came out of the car. There are several things that have to be perfectly aligned in order to mount this thing onto the engine. I'll show you them. First, there is the splined shaft. There you have them. It goes, okay, focus, yes, spline shaft that goes into the clutch. Then there is this last piece of shaft that goes into the top bearing. Those have to be exactly 100% straight and perfectly aligned. If not, no go. That's one. Secondly, there are some bushings that help the aluminum casing to be exactly aligned in rotational directions. Sorry, there's one here at the bottom front, one here at the top back, and those here I have one are well, have a very tight fit, and you really have to press them into their positions. And last, there is this bolt sticking out, this threaded bolt, which has its hole that you may use a little bit as a guidance, but whatever. Any of those may block you. And now the point where I have to blush red in my face. What I had overlooked, and this is a warning. What I had overlooked was that in the car on the engine was the bushing sitting, but on the new gearbox the bushing was sitting in the gearbox. So I had two of those bushings, yeah, knocking against one another. Yeah, that didn't help too, you know. I guess that's if I had discovered this earlier, we would have had it fixed yesterday evening. Yeah, sometimes you have a fool to live and learn. Situation now. The gearbox is mounted here to the back engine support. There it is. In there. It's bolted on to the engine here. It's bolted on top, but right here it's still resting on the jack. And now I'll have to lower it down and start fixing this motor mount. That's the first one. So now the last engine mount is back in. Right here, this is the support, which is in its turn hanging onto the chassis behind these tubes. Can't show you there. The gearbox and the extra support plate. So next comes the gear linkage, right here. So that is the gear linkage in place. Basically it's just two shafts. This shaft here is just nothing but holding the whole assembly, the gear knob inside the car in the same position relative to the gearbox, and this is the actual gear link shaft. So next will be the drive shafts, which I'm now going to do one side by one by jacking up first the right side of the car, the passenger side, installing the shaft and leaving the other side on its tire, and then reversing the operation and on the other side when this one has been finished. And that is the left hand driver's side drive shaft put in, and of course the wheel suspension, everything has been bolted back on. So now she's standing on her own feet once more. Just two more little things to do underneath. I need to place a protection plate here, and the exhaust has to be mounted back. And then I will be ready from the underside, so that everything under the car will be ready by then. Wow, I'm really making progress once more. Whew. Happy! What you now see is an exhaust bolt and copper grease. Absolutely indispensable to dip the bolt into the grease in order to prevent it from seizing completely stuck. And I can tell you, I did so only a couple of months ago, and already they were very hard to dismount. If I had not greased them in, I don't know if I had been able to take them loose without breaking the bolts. So, warning for everybody. But this is one that I never ever forget.